Okay, welcome to the shop. Here is the spool reel, cord reel, whatever you want to call it. And this is the assembly video. What you need is 5/16 lag, 5 inches long, M3 20 millimeters, M3 nylon locking nut, 2 skateboard bearings, Allen wrench that matches your screw here, 5/16 socket for driving your bearing or something similar. We might actually make something that you can use to drive your bearing in. And some super glue. And of course, a spool. So the first thing we'll do is we will drive our bearing in. We do not want to hit in the middle. So you want the right size socket, and then just tap it in. Don't go crazy, just tap it in. All right. The other one is installed, you see? Alright. Slide all this crap out of the way. And I've already glued my emblems on. Of course, this is a demonstration model, so you may or may not want those. Alright. What we have here is the lock, the real lock, once it's rolled up. Now, threads can be a pain, especially if you're a little sloppy, but you will see that this fits in absolutely perfect. What you're going to want to do is clean up the end. Maybe scrape off any lip, because you're going to want to print this like this. So if you have any kind of elephant's foot, make sure you trim that off. Also maybe trim right around the edge here in case you have any elephant's foot or over extrusion at the top. So what I did is I grabbed it here and I turned it, and as it started to bind, I just backed it up, and I went back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, and it cleaned itself up, and it's beautiful. Right. So this very simply will slide in its hole, and then screw lock on. So that's that. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to grab our outer spool. I actually have one here with the new attachment. You'll see what that's for here in a second. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, take our 20 millimeter screw, pop it in the top. You might want to thread your nylon screw before you put it in here, but I believe this PLA is going to hold it pretty good. It's not going to strip it out. And then we're just going to screw this on right here. And not too tight. And there you see we have that spinning. Alright, beautiful. Take our spool. This one has a little bit of line right here, you can see it. When I first started the print, that's right there is when it started pouring here in Florida. Amazing, isn't it? We're semi-climate controlled. It gets very humid in here when it rains. We have an AC that it just knocks it down in the summer a little bit. Knocks the heat down in the summer. Alright, we're going to slide our 5/16 lag through. So we have a bushing here. Kind of holds this tight right in there. Now this bushing is very, very tight. This is another part where you're going to want to trim the edges on each side if you get any elephant foot. And you're probably going to want to grab this and just work it on, and then slide it off. Whatever you got to do, clean up the inside with some scissors. Right now, if it's dirty, give it one of these a few times. And then we want this to be tight because this is going to keep this shaft from sagging. So slide this up in here, and you see that fits nice and tight. And it also holds out. So that's where we're at. That's pretty beautiful. Simply slide our spool on. So I didn't have all the parts laying out here. What this is the cap, the nut that holds everything on. Drop your nut in. Probably glue this. All right. And there she is. Ain't she pretty? So it's was originally meant for just to roll up cords, rope, whatever you had. Roll up Christmas lights and then take the spool off. It'll just make it easier to roll them. Probably don't really need to do that. Does make a nice cord reel though. Okay. Now for the cool part. This right here will fit in a 1/2 inch drill. We also have it for a 3/8 drill, but you're going to have to use an adapter. So it's just a flat top and then the 3/8 fits in the top. I was thinking if I made this 3/8, it's going to be too fragile. So this is for a 1/2 inch. We just pop this on here. Put this in your drill. And if you need to change from one spool to another, you can use one of our other spool adapters. One of our other spools, like this one. You can use one of those. And the great thing about this thing is you can pull on it, and when you let go, it stops. It'll come to a rest on its own. So if you get this thing spinning really, really fast, it's going to come to a rest pretty good. All right. So here it is. And you can just use your drill, load up a spool. So pretty neat. And don't forget to glue that on. All right, everybody, enjoy.